Treatment of the stress fracture. They've discovered that people with high incidence of stress fractures usually have weak gluteus maximus, weak gluteus medius, and just some source of heavy impact. Uncontrolled pronation is one of the biggest things too. So somebody who lands in good supination but they drop off really hard into pronation or whatever, that lack of control on pronating the foot is where tons of those problems come from. So you got to really get control on the gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and control the pronation. If you do those things, you minimize your risk. For stress fractures, getting the gluteus maximus strong. This is the gluteus maximus exercise. It's just a step up, big box step. Everybody's used to them. And down. The progression of this exercise is to go as you come up to the top, bring the knee up and back. Excellent balance. Very good exercise. So next, working gluteus medius all the way through the motion and through different rotations. Running is as you land on one leg, you're always rotating towards it, so we're going to get pretty good simulation. Now you up to 90 degrees, rotating away against the band, and then back in. There, back in. Again, you're controlling the arch with this one. As you go this way, you flatten the arch. As you rotate back out, raise the arch. This is control on pronation. It's working the hip. This one does a lot of good things for the stress fractures. Okay? Very good. All right, so when you do this exercise, it's a good exercise for everything, but we also want to make sure you get it from both directions, so we'll flip you around. All right, good. Try and just do a complete 180 there, and then the same thing come the opposite direction. Works the other side. Makes the ankle work a little different. It's okay. A lot of proprioception going on in the ankle, you can see that. Working hard, still raising the arch, still lowering the arch. Get control. Another good glute strengthening exercise is what I call drinking birds, or RDLs I understand they're called. And so you name them what you want, but basically you're going to stand on one leg. You're going to hinge on that leg. So you're going to keep you don't want your trunk to bend forwards at your waist. You want your trunk to bend forwards at your hip. So that motion is going to hinge at your hip. Not what you'll see though is kind of round it this way. It's not that kind of a reach. Your back stays nice and straight, reaching for the counters. Okay, so you go forwards. Good, nice. And then going for the inside count. Bring your body across and back. Okay, good. One thing you want to watch for: bend your knee just a little bit. Good. Come a little further down. Good. Now hold that, lock it, freeze it, and then bend forwards again. Nice. Keep a little bit of flexion in that knee, because you're straight. As a runner, you're going to start using your knee at about 20-30 degrees. So you want to make sure you're working in that range so you gain sport-specific strength there. Very good. Glutes are doing a lot of that. The biggest thing you're watching is low extremity alignment. Make sure that the knee is not dropping in, but your hip, ankle, and knee are all in one plane of motion. Looks really good. Side planks. Everybody's familiar with the same thing. Line your body up nice and straight. Side planks, you are actually working the muscle that is down. So there, hold that. You want to get perfect symmetry this way. Nice job. Perfect symmetry this way. Again, if you drop your hips back, which is going to feel comfortable to you, you're going to start recruiting the tensor fasciae lata instead of the gluteus medius. Okay? Gluteus medius is the one that helps us abduct. Very important. Progression for this one: start doing abduction in that position. Tough. Tough. Yeah. So that way you can work both and then roll it. You want to make sure you do that on both sides of it. This is progression one, just hiking the hip. You're actually strengthening the right side on this one. Perfect plane again. Don't let your body get forward. Don't let your hips drop back. Everything stays nice and tall. Hiking straight up. Okay? Good to have a mirror for these.
Yeah.
All right. And then coming over here. That's right. Nice. Perfect one. Good. Again, reps. I try to get around 30. 3 sets of 30, just go to fatigue, All right, some other things you can do for stress fractures. Again, it's the rate of loading. So some things you can do is really find some very soft cushion. If you're just struggling with them and you keep getting them chronically over and over, I would try some shock absorbing insoles in my shoes, or just shock absorbing shoes themselves. There's a lot of varieties of those out there. Find the one that works best for you. But they do a great job of cutting down some of the impact and quiet some of that loading and the rate of loading, which is the idea with stress fractures. Another thing you can do, because with stress fractures, the pronation, uncontrolled pronation is a problem. You can begin that as you begin to train for that with the exercises. You can use the arch tape to help control the pronation. That's another good option. Getting people on a surface where they can hear themselves run, like on a treadmill or something for a little bit. Start training them on how to run quietly. Tell them where they don't want to hear their footsteps, and it's a little less energy efficient, but it definitely decreases the rate of loading when you do that by running quietly. You have to really absorb the shock a whole lot more using your muscle system rather than your skeletal system. So you let the muscles do the work. Another is just cross training. If you're having stress fractures, make sure that you do cross training, because if you continue to run, what is proven is continuing to run with stress fractures, that osteoclastic activity that breaks the bone down will get more and more and more. You cannot just run through those. Attempts to run through those will only make the condition worse. So you're going to have to cross train for a while, maintain your cardiovascular endurance the best you can, but you're going to need to do that through cycling or swimming is some of the biggest recommendations that they have. As far as people making decisions on how to return to running, it's completely up to the pain levels of the particular athlete that's training. You start weaning them back in. If they're having pain, pull them back out, because you know that pain is indicative of more damage going on in the bone. And then again, return to running, I would continue to use that 10 to 15% rule.